Good morning, Britain, live from Kyiv, where the First Lady, Olena Zelenska, tells me all Ukrainians are tense in this week of the anniversary of the Russian... This is Good Morning Britain, live from the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. Good morning, Britain. It's just gone 6 o'clock. Welcome to our special programme, live from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, where less than 24 hours ago, President Joe Biden made his historic visit. It is his first on Ukrainian soil since the outbreak of the war. He travelled here on a top-secret 10-hour train journey and left the same way, arriving back in Poland just a few hours ago. He was welcomed by President Zelensky and the First Lady, Olena Zelenska, and she sat down with me for an exclusive interview just a few hours after that meeting. The First Lady told me Ukrainians are tense ahead of this week's anniversary of the Russian invasion, but said that President Biden's visit was a powerful sign of support. She said his promise of $500 million worth of weapons and ammunition would have a powerful effect on the battlefield, as well as describing some of the horrors of this war and explaining her determination to stay in Kyiv. She also sent a warm message of thanks to the people of Britain, the government, and to the royal family. Ukraine's call for more help is clearly being heard in both Washington and in Westminster, because after the American pledge here yesterday, politicians in the UK, including former Prime Ministers Boris Johnson and Liz Truss, are now calling for the world to supply Ukraine with the fighter jets it is asking for. Well, as you heard in my report, the First Lady has made the decision to stay in Ukraine with her children despite the risks to their safety. Nearer to the front line, just 22 miles from the Russian border, many people had little choice but to leave their homes in the face of Putin's advancing army. Our chief correspondent, a couple of hours after welcoming the US president to Kyiv for his historic visit, the First Lady sat down with me at the presidential palace to reflect on its crucial significance for her country. The meeting of the two leaders right here in the heart of Ukraine could not have been better framed, and ended with a message intended to echo hundreds of miles away across the border in Moscow. How important is the US president's visit?
Where the actions of Russian occupiers are documented.
Feel is the impact on Ukraine's children?
They go to the basements in their schools. And if the military say they don't have enough, and 50 rape cases,